Okay, everybody is online now. So let me start once again. Good afternoon. This is Dr. Rao. I'm coming in with an important topic for me and in my life and how it has shaped what I'm doing now. Okay, it's about unified living, right? So it is something. If you really look at our world today, we kind of very fast paced and also highly compartmentalized world. Okay, it's like a series of fragmented pieces disconnected from a central purpose. See, the modern mind caught in this whirlwind of responsibilities, digital noise, and external validation, right? It becomes fragmented, leading to an inner state of confusion, stress, and dissatisfaction. Yet, deep within each of us lies an innate potential or wholeness, a state of unified living that fosters personal peace and fulfillment, which then radiates outward, creating a harmonious and conscious world. This modern life really encourages a compartmentalized approach. We separate work from home life, health from spirituality, and rational thinking from emotional experience. See, this division it gives rise to a fragmented existence where individuals find themselves torn between competing demands and identities. See, the result of all this is deep sense of disconnection from oneself, from others, and from the world, right? So, kind of erodes our inner peace, this state of fragmentation, and weakens one's sense of purpose, which in turn impacts not only personal well being, but also collective harmony of the society. So, to heal this divide, a shift toward unified living, a life that integrates body, mind, and spiritual is essential. That's my understanding. That's the way I was living for the last few years. Uh, Sorry, I had a phone call there. So it's a conscious integration of all aspects of life. You know, uh, so it is kind of deliberate. It's not happening accidentally, right? So where there is no disconnection between who we are in different situations. It's a life aligned with the core values and also lived from a centered, authentic self. This is what I talk about turn inward and realize who you are and all that. So, what essentially unified living means that each thought, action, and decision they arise from a place of inner alignment and is expressed in harmony with the external world. Inside harmony, external harmony. That's what I have. This wholeness fosters personal peace and allows one's fulfillment to naturally ripple outward, nurturing a more harmonious, conscious world. So, ancient thing I always tell about is that what called Atma Mokshardham Jagat Hitaya. Turn inward and realize who you really are and authentic self, and then go out and work for the welfare of the world. Because you are so peaceful, contented, happy, you can live with a little, you can work with a little, but you are inwardly full, unified. Okay, so this is the way to personal peace, the journey toward personal peace. So, to cultivate this unified living, one must turn inward, that's lay, and then reconnect with the real self. That's what I always talk about, right? This journey involves several key practices. One is mindfully present, be aware and be here. The practice of this awareness or mindfulness, you call it, it helps to quiet the mind and bring awareness to the present moment. So, by being fully present, individuals can break free from the habitual cycle of multitasking and mental chatter. Two things, multitasking and mental chatter. Actually, these two that perpetuate this fragmentation, right? That's number one. Okay, mindfulness, mindful presence, or present moment awareness, or awareness, you call whichever it is, being in the present, basically. Second thing is involve in a self inquiry and reflection. It requires understanding oneself beyond the superficial identities. So, if you start a practice like, who am I? Beyond all these roles I have, all these responsibilities I have, what am I? Who am I? Right? That kind of reveals a deeper sense of essence. See, that essence binds the various facets of life. That's when the unified living happens. This awareness really aligns between inner truth and outward actions. So our truth is coming in actions, whatever we do, right? Number three is you have to integrate all the holistic practices like yoga, breath work, meditation. They can harmonize your body, mind, and spirit, or anything else like that. Okay. Um, See, that creates an experience of unity. Okay. See, these practices build upon balance, making it easier to life's challenges. From peace and balance from within, you kind of face the world. Okay. Then what happens is the fulfillment that comes from this kind of peace and balance that radiates outward. So you can see that. Okay. When a person cultivates this personal peace through unified living, the state of wholeness that is inside extends beyond the individual. See, if you drop a pebble in the pond, it creates ripples that spread outward. So inner peace radiates and influences the world around us. It can be done everybody, right? So what do? You kind of enhance your relationship. See, if you are unified living what you are and you are doing in actions, then what happens is it kind of fosters deep and meaningful relationships, not transactional. Okay. So if individual operates from this place of wholeness, interactions become authentic and compassionate. This encourages deeper connections and fosters a sense of community, right? Not for the needs, but more like a principle and all. And then you contribute consciously. See, unified life is not only for personal fulfillment, but it's also about using that sense of completeness to contribute positively to the world. When individuals align their actions with their true purpose, they can channel their energy into projects and causes that uplift others and promote collective well being, right? So, number three, you can cultivate empathy and understanding because the personal peace nurtures empathy. When one feels whole and content within, becomes easier to understand and connect to the struggles of others and joys of others. This empathy harmonizes our relationships, and builds a more understanding society, right? So the ripple effect building a conscious world is the world we see is a reflection of our collective inner states. When individuals begin to live unified, peaceful lives, their actions, their words, their intentions, they create a ripple that influence those around them, right? So a community composed of individuals who strive for the wholeness can lead to a more harmonious interactions, stronger relationships, and collective well-being, right? Uh, so this is where I learned from the ancient wisdom. First realize yourself and then go work for the welfare of the world. Okay. So what we do is I'm not in competition with anybody now. I just live my truth. I just live to work for the welfare of the world. That's it. So we can shift from competition to cooperation. So unified living, where you are unified with your inner essence and values to outward actions, that promotes a mindset of abundance, right? Rather than scarcity. So when you come with the mindset of I'm complete, I'm Purna, they call it in Sanskrit, that encourages collaboration over competition and fosters a sense of shared progress, right? It's all abundance. Okay. This shift can transform workspaces, schools, and communities into spaces where people support and uplift one another because it's cooperation, not competition. And then we can also help the planet, the environment, stewardship of the environment. How that is done when individuals feel connected to themselves, in a sense, and the world around them. A natural byproduct is heightened sense of responsibility toward the planet. We feel responsible to the planet. Okay. So unified living nurtures an understanding that we are not separate from the nature, but part of the an interconnected whole. That is a oneness you feel. This awareness inspires sustainable choices that benefit our children, future generations. So I feel like that, you know, and also inspiring a culture of awareness, where I call morning routine is an hour of awareness, right? Living a life of integration can inspire others to do the same. So you live it, and then that your life becomes inspiration to other people too. So each person journey toward a wholeness, and they become a beacon, right? Illuminating a path for those who are still caught in the fragmentation of modern life. That's the problem, fragmentation of the modern life. Over time, this collective movement can spark a culture shift toward a greater awareness, peace, and collective action. I really believe this. I really want to live this way. So, what are the steps to embrace unified living? See, it's a deeply personal journey, really. But some universal steps are there that can guide our path. Number one is be still, create a space for stillness. So get some time out of your schedule to be silent and to reflect on things. Okay, you can do as simple as morning meditation, morning breathing, deep breathing, and all that. That's number one. Be still. Try to cultivate the stillness. Okay, deliberately. Okay, and number two is prioritize what is mattering, what matters, what's important for me, according to my inner essence, according to my values. What is the important thing? So you can sit down and evaluate your daily activities and align them with your core values. Are they aligning with that or not? You don't have to tell anybody, just do it yourself. Then let go of the tasks and commitments that create fragmentation, that separate you from other people, that separate you from your inner essence. You know, and basically, what things do not resonate with you or with your authentic self, not your superficial self, which wants to make money, which wants to have the egoic power over people. That's not it. Okay. And then one thing really helps here is gratitude. You are still, you are prioritizing what matters to you, but you are grateful for what you have. See, a daily practice of gratitude in the morning and in the evening, it can shift the focus from what is lacking to what is already present, what is already abundant. See, it nurtures contentment and unity within. So, number three. Number four is what kind of people are you spending the time with? So, seek the connections that help you grow, right? Grow in the sense of understanding and realizing and all that. Okay. So, the communities, the individuals who share a similar desire for unified living. First of all, they may be fragmented, they may be completely in that. So, it may be remote that they will see beyond their personal profit or whatever their egoic needs and all that. So you can share experiences and support each other, and that shared experiences and connections and support for each other can reinforce the commitment to wholeness. So you can commit yourself for the wholeness. So from fragmentation to wholeness is the world needs more individuals committed to living in unity, not just within themselves, but with the world around them. See, it's not an utopian idea, this unified living. It's a practice, a choice made daily to wholeness, and we contribute not only to our personal peace and fulfillment, that for sure happens, but also to a world that thrives on harmony, compassion, and consciousness. So, when choosing unified living, we become catalysts to a brighter, more interconnected life future, one where peace within translates to peace to the world. So let us embrace this journey, knowing that the ripples we create within will spread out and transform the world around us. So that's what I kind of really feel about it, and then put it in words for my friends and family and whoever following me. Um, it's not like a some dictating something. It's like a presenting a viewpoint. And living like that really helped me to be peaceful within, to be fulfilled, and to really deal with the problems of the world much effectively. Not only my problems, but other people too. People who are burned out because of the fragmentation, people are lost relationships because of this fragmentation and all that. So, understanding fragmentation and getting this unified life into us, really, nobody need to point out to you. You will be knowing yourself. So, once you understand what is fragmentation, what is unified life, how can I recognize fragmentation in my life and go. So, with that, if anybody has any comments or questions, or does this resonate with you, you can come up and talk to me and ask me or tell me about what you think about this. I heard this fragmentation in 1985 when I was following J. Krishnan. And he kind of pointed this out for everybody can really see that. And when I also saw that, I said, yeah, this is the plain truth, and why we are really brought up to be thinking fragmented and then really not enjoying this inner peace and happiness and contentment. And thereby, we have balance and enthusiasm and contentment within. And with that balance, we have come, right? So that's a blessing, I think, for me, and then the more I understood my own fragmentation, and then really working at it and then landing up in that unified living really helped me to be peaceful and contented. Okay, let me see. One of the friends is coming up. Wonderful. Hi there.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am great. No problems. Wonderful. So, what do you think about this?
I came up to ask, how do you spell J. Krishna?
J. Krishnamurti. Yeah.
Hmm.
Krishnamurthi.
Say it again.
Krishnamurthi. Krishnamurti.
K-A-H-I. And what's his last name again?
Jiddu. Jiddu.
All right, thank you. Because I'm on the journey of learning how to be more unified.
Yeah.
And I'm more of a visual learner. I have to see it. So it's J. Krishna.
He's very well known, worldwide known, and uh, he is instrumental to help me to understand what is thought, what is limited thought, and be free of the thought. So that was sometimes my mind was so silent, even though I'm seeing a lot of patients and everything. It lasted all through the evening, you know. He really showed me where the limitation of thought and how can you use the thought, but at the same time be free of that. Ending of thought. Maybe find that book, Ending of Thought. I think you will enjoy that.
Oh, yes. And then I found you as well. So
Yeah.
I give you a follow.
Ending of thought. That's where it is. But what do you think
Because
about this world state of fragmentation?
I feel like it's a very common thing
Yeah.
in today's world. Because if you can take people away from their true self, you can make them want things
Yeah.
and sell things
Yeah.
and make it like an unending, it's never enough.
Yeah. I'm very inspired by the ancient teaching of Atma Mokshardham Jagat Hitayasha. They said, as a human being, turn inward and realize your true essence, and then go and work for the welfare of the world. Not for your welfare, but you're already peaceful, content, and then go there. So this matches very well with that saying.
Okay. I think it's interesting because I don't know a lot about it.
Yeah.
And it's something like I tend to drop down rabbit holes of learning new things.
Good, good. Good for you. So, but this is not an idea, it's like a statement of fact that I see with the burnout doctors or stressed out IT people or the company leaders. Everybody comes with this fragmentation, evident that we don't have to judge them. We just understand what they are not doing and then gently, compassionately, um, kind of nudge them towards their own inner essence And they seem to do very well after that.
I think so. It seems like a very simple factual concept.
Yeah.
I just have to work it into my own brain.
Yeah. You see, basically, we weave a lot of thoughts around who we are, and then just breaking and seeing what we are. It's a very simple thing, but the more we wind up in our own thoughts, the more we think that is us.
Right.
Right? So, external things, okay, you can use the thought, but the internal things, why do I have to see everything about you? Why can't I see you as a human being?
Right.
That being, that essence, that's what I look at.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, with everybody, with the patients, with my wife, everybody, I look at that being. That's what I'm talking about, our essence, and then from there we are all equal, right?
Right.
You want to come back and tell me more about it? What you think? You're more than welcome to come. There you
It makes me think about the analysis paralysis that comes from.
Yeah, you got it. You nailed it. That is correct. When you only in the analysis, that only leads to paralysis. It doesn't lead to this essence we're talking about. Yeah, go on. Go on. Only.
So when one of the things I've noticed
Mhm.
is when I'm trying to just focus on my intent for the day,
Yeah.
I get this bombardment of just thoughts, and a lot of them
Yeah.
are opinions from outside,
Mm.
and trying to focus solely on the internal world
Yeah.
versus the outside world
Yeah.
is like, whew, and it's something I had to really practice.
Yeah.
Like I put it into practice last night. I was like, and excuse my language,
Yeah.
I focused all of my intent on not being a jackass.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's that's the fragmentation we're talking about. Our inner essence may have the true wisdom and true contentment, and they are not to pose anything, but their superficial mind poses all these possibilities, all these logical things, and all that. That's when we end up not in unification with our inner self.
Yeah, it's like I had to
Yeah.
really, really focus on it.
Yeah.
And I realized by the end of it, I was really, really tired.
Mm.
But it kind of worked out because I got some good quality sleep. But it's something that I really had to work on.
Yeah, when I sleep, wonderful, I kind of sleep on the being, not on the thoughts. That's such a blessing. Because so many things are happening outside, right? Sometimes I'm in trouble also with so many things, and sometimes challenging patients come and we can't resolve them. We have to spend all night, that kind of thing, right? Even then, we get a couple of hours to go and rest. That's when this is most useful for me because I, by intention, and I go, this moment, this problem is not there. Let me relax and then be in my being and sleep. Then I sleep very well, and when I get up, my mind is more active to serve the patient.
That's smart.
Yeah.
I've gotten little tidbits of this
Mm.
throughout my working career because when I learned how to do taxes,
Mm.
the lady that told me
Mm.
before you send in any government document,
Mm.
if you're up late working on it,
Yeah.
go to sleep first,
Yeah.
and then when you wake up, review it with fresh eyes, and then send it in.
Very true, very true. Because that's why I may prepare the taxes the day before and sleep on it, and then in the morning check it and send it out.
Yeah, and it really helped with making mistakes.
Yeah.
Because I point out the little things like, oh, that number isn't correct, or oh, this needs to be changed.
Yeah.
And it really helped with making mistakes.
I found opportunity to get more refunds. That's what happened for me. You know, really. A few things I forgot, and then they came to light once I went back and reviewed again. And every time I did that, I had more return, more money come back.
Yeah.
Because we were
So
running a clinic and we have family. I'm the head of the family, two kids growing up. So many things, educational, so many charities, so many things we have done. We might have forgotten. Then I discovered QuickBooks and Quicken, right? And
mhm.
then what happens is if you know the tax categorization in the beginning, you enter in the beginning of the year, you enter all the expenses in the software, then it kind of categorizes for me very well. I don't remember that. Then that's actually that's a very smart thing to do. I discovered because government encourages us to do conscious living to help the earth, like constructive thing. Like if you are married or if you have kids and if you are having a home, they encourage them, right? A lot of the even the green culture they encourage them. So you can plan your expenses according to your values of what you're doing. And then they can be recorded in the software and you will put it in the category, give you a very how easy it is after you've done that.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, keep that in mind and you'll be very thankful because a lot of headache is gone for you. That way, you know. So, I mean, I didn't mean to give you advice on the accounting, but that's one of the things that makes me uh, use the technology to simplify my routine tasks so that my energy goes into the spirituality, self-inquiry, for example, right? So many people don't realize the fact that see, digital uh, noise and mental chatter. These two are really contributing for the fragmentation and people don't really find time to go inward and be in the reflection. They want to tell somebody. It is not about telling somebody. Doing by yourself, going inward. Spend some time in stillness, some time in uh, really reflecting on things. If you do every night, that's much better. We call that a review of reactions, ROR, at night. End of the day, you are in the bed, unwind your body, unwind your mind in the form of what are the emotional reactions I had all day? What are the egoic responses I had all day? Reflecting on them and really not justifying yourself or not saying whatever I do is right, but looking at the perspective of other people, if they were hurt or if they were treated badly, whatever, maybe without you intending also, sometimes this can happen, right? They may take some things some way, Then you can review them and dump all the trivial things. Like somebody said something, then I'm hurt. Your ego is hurt, not you hurt. Then dump it. You don't have to carry that. You don't have to make it real and all that. You can forgive and forget it, or you can just let it go. My thing is, don't cling on to any of those things. See, yoga teaches you that. Don't cling on to these things, especially if you go on doing that when you're young. When you grow old, these things bother you because they're already remnants in your mind. Yoga calls them samskaras or ingrained thoughts. And they form their own pathways and they come very strong. So to come back to this is difficult. But if you are practicing reflection since when you are young, it's much easier. And also, lot of spiritual stuff is pretty deep for a lot of people because they are not able to focus or they're not able to stay with the deeper understandings or wisdom because they're so overloaded with unnecessary, already done trivial things. That's the mental chatter. That's the digital noise we call about. Okay. So this is more dangerous now because we have this information overload. So don't talk, don't tell people, but do this first for yourself. That's what the unified living comes in. When whatever is not really, so for example, somebody shows a racist tendency and does something really mean and all that, then you can see that is his weakness. And they don't know anything about you, and they're showing superficial things, and they're saying, but all the human beings are same in the inner realm. So you don't have to really react to that, because who is that? Your ego is reacting to that. You let it go, and slowly that egoic part is gets weakened, and then you will really be in your real self. Once you are there, you are psychologically independent of anything that's happening, right? So let's see. Another friend is coming. Oh, my friend Mabel. She's a delight. Mabel.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mabel. How are you?
Great. I just finished my volunteer today.
Very good. Okay, good. Okay. What
Yeah.
what do you do?
I just walked from school to
Ah,
here to my mother-in-law's house, but they are not here.
ah,
They're on vacation. Meaning
okay.
vacation.
Ah. Good,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
So
I need vacation.
what do you
So yeah,
think about this unified life I'm talking about?
unified. Unified means united, right?
Yeah, united with your real values and your core essence to outward life and whatever we do.
What is the example for that?
Yeah, see, fragmentation is when you think what I think is different, what I do is different, right?
Okay.
Suppose you
Uh-huh.
say, oh, my work life is different, my family life, but
Uh-huh.
then you have to do something to unify that,
Okay.
right?
So you have to find ways to be like
True to your
uh,
values, true to your inner
yeah.
essence, then you
Uh-huh.
find that peace and quietness and happiness within, which I am always talking about, then
Uh-huh.
that reflects outward.
So I think I think I use that every day.
Mm.
I use that every day because my life is I say beautiful.
Mm.
I will not say my life is hard. I will say my life is beautiful
Yeah.
in any way.
No, no,
So
this is about do you know what you are? Do you know
uh-huh,
your values? And
uh-huh,
whatever you do, reflecting that. That unity is there. It's not like a do whatever comes your way and then go. Suppose you are going to the work, right? And you go there and say, I want to serve my customers. So
uh-huh. So
that's your
in short, you have to have a plan, right?
not the plan, but the value.
The
I'm
value.
I'm
Okay.
I'm going to go and
Value.
serve my patients as a pharmacist, if you think like that.
Uh-huh,
And then you
uh-huh.
go there and help them out extra and make sure they understand they are getting everything and they get a top
Okay.
class service. But because you want to give,
Okay. Okay. You want to give. You
that's
want
the
to give.
value you have, and you are compatible with it, then you are unified.
Okay. So
No matter what circumstances, you are true to your real self. And then that really comes out compassion, love, and care, and all that.
okay.
It's
So
not like
yeah.
egoic. It's like I want to do it myself. I want to help myself, and then I want to weave the manipulation. Not that. It's a
Yeah. No. No. No.
truly knowing our inner human being self, which is compassionate, which is kind, which is loving, giving, and doing work outward according to that self.
Okay. So like let me check me if I'm wrong.
Mm.
So I'm like one instant I have a patient that
Mm.
keep calling, and this patient is he don't speak English.
Mm.
And even though I'm not the one who's answering the phone, I
Mm.
was in the back, but I can listen to her how she, how she talked to the patient like, oh, we don't, this is how she reacts. when somebody call that if they don't speak English,
Mm.
and you're supposed to find a way that you can help that patient
Yeah.
instead of saying that na, oh, we're not speaking Chinese here.
Mm.
So for me in that time, for me, I was in the back, but I can listen to the clerk
Yeah.
saying that. It bothers me.
Yeah.
It bothers me because she's supposed to say something like, okay, give me one
Yeah.
moment. I will find way. I have I have number here. We will
Mm.
contact this person so they can translate with you, and
Mm.
then both of us can talk what
Yeah.
I can help you.
Even the telephone service, Mabel, they have translators online.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But this one, I'm talking about this one because
Yeah.
this clerk, she is not trained that she's not aware. It's supposed to be aware. Like, how come
Yeah.
well, I'm not asking her how come you don't know it, but in my end, I'm actually what I do is I just finish my thing,
Yeah.
and then I go back. I go.
Yeah. Come back, Mabel. Yeah.
So to continue that
Yeah.
conversation, so
Yeah.
I'm there, I'm listening, but in my head, I cannot, in my head, I
Yeah.
have to, I have to help this patient because
Hmm.
he needs something.
Yeah.
So what I did, I finished my stuff and then I go back. I talk to the clerk, like I said, like, do you remember that patient? Give me the medical number,
Mm.
and then I will call that patient, even if I don't speak Chinese, right?
Mm.
But I'm aware that I have a hotline to call that
Yeah.
we two of us, and that interpretation can help us what
Yeah.
that patient needs.
That is what I'm talking about. Care and compassion within you.
Yes,
You want
yeah,
to,
that's me.
yeah, provide the
It's
service. Yeah. That is a unified thing because you have
yes,
that feeling and you are acting on it.
yes.
Yeah.
Because in medical field, sometimes for me, honestly,
Yeah.
I care about my patients as my family
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
what if I give the what if the what if something like this patient is not aware, and then think about it.
Yeah.
If you don't want to give your
See,
son candy,
see,
and
what
then
I'm talking about is not just for the medical people, which is
yeah,
expected anyway, but I'm talking about the general sense of people. People I train,
mhm,
about, for example, IT people come to me, maybe,
mhm,
because they're overloaded with all this
mhm,
information. They have real problems with stomach, they cannot sleep, and they have
mhm,
problems with their spouses.
that's
Because
true.
yeah, there are
That's true.
things all the time. They're taking home, they have to do projects in a certain way. So this is kind of damaging their relationships. So
Yeah.
so when they come to me, then I have to help them not
Uh-huh.
to act it out on their wives, but then explain
Uh-huh.
them, take time to sit down, and also have a reasonable time where you can attend to your family and also do the work in a reasonable way. So
Yes,
if
that's
these people
right.
are after money, I will get so
Uh-huh.
much on the project if I do that. Then I tell
Uh-huh.
them, change that. What is important? You want to be separated, or you want to really be nice and really give appropriate attention. See how I involved my wife when I had the very, very busy practice, Mabel. First of
Uh-huh.
all, I put her to work in my office as a billing manager.
Uh-huh.
She learned and she did and all that. But initially, she wasn't willing to do. She said, I'm a doctor's wife. I can stay home. I could take care of kids. I said, no, no, no. You got to develop as a person. So you have to talent. She did a master's in commerce. So I said, don't waste it and come. And then she came and then it worked out very well for us because we used to go to lunch every day together.
Yeah, that's a beautiful one. You
Yeah.
can do compassion in different ways. Me,
Yeah.
I always love to talk. I always love to talk like any ages, and if I can help, if I can share something, even if a words,
Mm.
simple words that, oh, thank you for it's just like, thank you for saying that because
Yeah.
I'm not aware. Now I know.
Yeah.
Probably I will apply it to myself, and probably it's just like simple
Yeah.
gesture,
But if you take
simple
the
gesture.
whole world, Mabel, many people are working under this fragmentation, stress, and burnout, and all that. right? So to gain the personal peace, they have to
Mhm.
examine their own values, their own
Yeah,
essence, and
that's
then
true.
come through. That's what is talk about. People not having peace inside, they're
Uh-huh.
looking outside all the time and they're not getting it. What I'm saying is everybody has this wholeness within.
Mhm.
Touch that and let it be rippled out to the world. See, it's not enough we have unity between our values and our actions, but we have to have unity. Like, for example, you are there, I am there, we have unity of caring. That's what we
Mhm.
want to share.
Mhm.
That is how we can, like, for example, I am peaceful and enjoying life, happy, even when the
Mhm.
situations are pretty bad outside.
Yes, yeah, yeah,
That
that's
is
right.
possible for everybody. That's my point.
Yeah, of course. Like, especially if you're using that, it's
Hmm.
like part of your it's like part of your life. For
Yeah,
me, I call it my medicine.
yeah. I know, but this is not just the thinking, though. This is about
Yeah,
going beyond the thinking into our real inner self. See,
yeah,
that's what needs some reflection, some silence, some stillness, and all.
yeah. That's a big one.
Yeah,
That's a big one.
yeah. It's a question of it is there and it can be done. And ancient wisdom had taught me, and I'm trying to sharing with everybody, and I'm trying to live that way. I live that way. That's why there is a peace and contentment within me that kind of helps me to go and serve other people. Right? That's what we are trying to do. Yeah. Anybody else? Has any comments or anything that you? I mean, Mabel is a very loving, very kind, very compassionate person, and that's why she's living out her values outside. That she's unified that way. But just only one or few people doing is not enough. We have to have more people so that we can unify with the world and also the planet and other people too. And that is possible if you have the perspective like this. But most of the people don't think that they need to examine themselves whether they are egotistical or not, whether they are loving, caring, considerate people or not. And if they are, don't care about the things but care about the inner essence of people, then this is can be done very easily. As I see around and encounter with the hospital administration or insurance companies or drug companies, uh, they seem to have a lot of stress generation because they come from the angle of we have to make more money, and in the process we can sacrifice the beingness of the human beings. Okay, they may give them salary, they may give something, but they put them through a lot of stress too. The system is like that has become. So we got to change that. Means first of all we have to do that, and then let that go into the ripple effect. So that ancient thing where you realize who you are beyond your roles and responsibility, beyond your titles, your ego, your mind, and your body. You have the essence within you. Be there, work from there, and that is a space of immense peace, contentment, and happiness and bliss. But the way the ancient versus modern is, modern people think the happiness is out there in things, in achievements, in relationships, and all that. They may be there for a while, but then most of it changes. But the inner real happiness that you have is unalloyed. Once you really come out of this ignorance that everything is outside, and you will discover that within you. That's the privilege of the human being. That's the advantage of being a human being. Okay, we have the prefrontal cortex to discern. We have the intelligence to transcend our ego and end up in what we are: non-egoic, thoughtless, uh, uh, like a consciousness or awareness, which is really choiceless. It is there without the choice, it is there, but then we employ our thought to find out, then we get lost. But intuitively, we can feel it. Everybody can feel it. But then recognizing it, staying it, that requires practice, right? I hope this makes sense to you guys. I plan to do a few rooms on this so that people who are talking about you know ego consideration, all that, they can look at for themselves. It's not a judgmental thing, but it is kind of identifying what we are beyond that egoic self, right? There's a smaller self and bigger self, but then people get confused. All you have to do is, am I compatible with the values I feel really deeply to myself, but not changing them according to circumstance? And also, am I really touching that essence of me, which is itself, ancient system said, Purna, completely fulfilled self, forever fulfilled self. And also they said that is a reflection of the Purnam that is created the world. So once you have touched that, that is forever fulfilled. That's why they talked about Purusharthas, four ways of living for human beings. First one is doing something that is beneficial to everybody, everyone, not my tribe, not my race, not my country, not my family or myself, none of that. But whatever you do should be benefiting everybody, right? Don't do anything that is going to be destructive. That's one way. But whatever you try to earn living or make money and all that, that has to be done in the right way. That way, uh, you can accumulate things, but not beyond what you need. And then third one is you can be finding a life of enjoyment, pleasures, and desires, and all those things. But that's also not going to be fulfilling after a while. So, but there is a one way where you transcend this egoic mind and then discover your true inner self. That's the privilege of the human being. But then this spirituality is used to make more money, to make more desires, then you lost. Even if you desire, like I want to be appreciated, I want to be, followed with so many people and all. That's what some people are doing, right? Spirituality is a business, then you missed it. Then you have not seen it, and that is a much better. See, there is a dialogue that one time happened. There is this sage, and he was talking to people. One person came and said, "Sir, you are really great. You are kind of sacrificing all the pleasures, all the experiences that we have in early life, the foods, the movies, the internet, all that we enjoy. You are sacrificing it. You are really great." You know what he said? The sage said, "Sir, you are greater than me because you are sacrificing the God, you are sacrificing the spirituality, you are sacrificing the inner joy and peace you feel by following the spiritual path and then developing some detachment to the worldly life." But then modern neonites, what they are doing, they want to go after spirituality, immediately think about how can I make business on. If you concentrate on that, you will never realize your personal spiritual self, and you will miss a diamond. That's what I call it, right? So it's not like pointing negative or anything. It is the state of affairs we see. Even in India, there are so many gurus. Unless they want to bless, you have to give them 10,000 rupees. What spirituality is that? So that is there. But the genuine real spiritual people, they don't care for it because they are developed a detachment, because they touch something eternal that kind of quieted their chattering mind, that kind of doing. All this politics, all these things around spirituality is nonsense, because you are one with all. There is no separation. But the moment you develop that separation, you are not spiritual. You are materialistic. You are worldly. So that sage has immense peace and happiness within, That's why he can looks all these. See, they live in meditation, they live in contemplation, they live in reflection, they live in silence, they live in service, they live in love and affection, and are helping a lot of people put their lives together. They have immense joy. But whereas these people, they are kind of enjoying the life and then not able to face life, and it is not really treating them. So they don't have this inner resilience, inner self thing. You know? That is the fragmentation I'm talking about. When you are unified within yourself and you are connected with everybody, everything, and the planet, then you are really unified. Out of that, everything comes out. That's why Atma Mokshardham. First realize who you really are. Jagat Hitaya. Then go and work for the welfare of the world, not to make more money, more investment, but then showing the limitation of those worldly life. Okay, Vishavancha. That's what they call be detached. See, one of the things we noticed when we take up meditation as a lifestyle, as a changing it, many people do mechanical meditation and maybe stop the mind and then they'll go back and the mind comes back again. So they never have this silence. They never have the blessing of this stillness. And they never have the continuous, they may have it for the moment when they are doing this so called meditation, which is like a whack-a-mole, right? Projecting thought and suppressing the thought, and again it projects. But there is an entity where you have dissolution of the mind. Doesn't mean destruction of the mind. It means transcending the entity of the mind or thoughts and then being in the thoughtless awareness. Okay? That is spiritualization of the mind. Mm. Anyway, that's a other matter, bigger matter. But then my point is, many of the meditation things that people are doing is not really reaching the zenith or the potential because people are not having this what's called vairagya, detachment to worldly life, still craving for worldly experiences, still craving for the pleasure and joy that comes out of it, and then reinforcing each other that is everything, and then go after it. You will never go there. Okay, so once you are feeling that spiritual inner being and you station there, then you can use your faculties, your tools of the body and mind to live well. And also, not live well means not living a lot of luxury, a lot of pleasures, and not that, but living well becomes peaceful, happy, connected with everybody, and then serving people well. Anyway, that's my personal feeling of you have to be unified, and there's a great lot we can do by unifying and then serving the world, okay, or bringing the planet together, or helping the planet in a large way. So, anybody else wants to come up before I close the room? I think I said what I need to say. I wonder everybody got everything that I said, or you want me to repeat it a little bit again? So this is going to be kind of probably discussed several times so that people really understand what I'm talking about, and also they have some practical ways. Okay, so if you really want to understand this unified living, and also really want to know what is this journey to inner peace, personal peace, let me repeat at least those so that people can really. First thing I said, have this mindful presence, cultivate that. Okay, um, practice of staying still and being mindful and bringing awareness to the present moment. You can schedule time for that in the morning and in the night. Dawn and dusk would be ideal for you. And go and sit in a place without any distractions, being fully present. And you can break that habit of multitasking and mental chatter, which are leading to the fragmentation, right? So you want to be completely in the moment, whatever you're doing. Number two is ask, sit down and ask, who am I? Am I this roles and responsibilities? Am I this physical body or fleeting thoughts? Or am I something, you know, deeper? And that is that awareness, reflection of the true awareness. And then you are aligned with your inner truth and whatever actions you do outwardly. So self inquiry is very important, right? And the third thing is, how can I integrate these holistic practices? Take yoga, breathing, meditation, those things will do that. Anything that harmonizes your body, mind, and spirit. Like what we do in the morning routine, we want to stretch the body, deep breathe. That means we are bringing the spiritual energy into us, the life energy into us, and also we are kind of keeping mind quiet. So those kind of things where you have this integration of these three, body, mind, and spirit, do that. You know. And the fourth one I talked about is uh, who person you are dealing with. You know, be with those connections have to be really focusing on this, allowing you to go inward by yourself and discovering the wholeness that is in everybody. Okay, so if you can do these things, probably that will be very helpful. Okay, so from fragmentation to wholeness. Okay, we need committed individuals to that, just to not only personal peace but also to help the community and the world. That's my viewpoint, and I hope it made sense to people. And I will be discussing more in detail about these things down the line. Okay, thank you. And it's getting 1 o'clock, and I'll take leave now, and I'll see you back whenever I have time. Bye bye. Thanks, Janet, and